Oh shit. Or they, I don't know what the, they make this shit too confusing to use. The hell? Or testing. The fucking testing. So yeah, let me do one real quick. Start this off like this. Oh, what the hell's going on?
It's 9:12 p.m.
Oh no, I was gonna talk about. Oh.
It's 9:13 p.m. It's 9:13 p.m.
Come on. Ha, sicker than your average. Pop a twist.
That movie, the Truman Show, was a documentary. Yeah, everything. I don't know why it says science fiction in the description. Everything that's there, they can do it, like, and then some. They could do that and then some, like way more than that. Like harp weather, like a harp weather machine and shit like that. Like they can control the weather, like make it get super cloudy or super rain hard at any area that they want to. They can manipulate it like that. Look up harp. But that's a documentary. Like those that are targeted individuals. Well, not everybody is. Like there's. So on the micro level, you won't get it really. But on the micro level, on a personal level, those that are targeted individuals, that movie's like a documentary, like very close to what it is or whatever. But on the macro level, they were showing you like a more realistic depiction of what the Earth is, like a much more based in reality, realistic depiction of what our Earth actually is, like how like where no one can really leave. That's why they show like when they showed SpaceX's rocket with that blue shit, like when it crashed into the dome. When it hit a wall, it hit a barrier, it crashed into the dome. They can only go so high before they hit like a barrier, and then they always show the videos. It always shows something that looks like watery, kind of like crashing into some watery shit, like a boat, like hopping out of the water. That's what it looks like. But yeah. But on the micro level, that movie is like a fucking documentary. Like it's crazy. I related to that movie so much that in like way deeper than the average person. Like the average, a lot of people are. Oh no, fucking piece of shit keeps on doing that shit, man. But anyways, everything in that movie is possible and then some. They could probably do more than that. Like, you know what I mean? Like more than that. Like watch you through your phone, look at, scan like through your restroom, see what you're doing in there. You know, X-ray scanners, everything. There's bird drones. Oh yeah, look up bird drones. There's like these super advanced. Have you ever seen birds that look weird and shit? Like weird. I remember as a kid, I would see natural looking birds, and they were always in big ass groups. They were always like in big ass groups of birds, like a bunch of them, and now for some reason you'll see like one or two by themselves, looking super unnatural and weird. But if you look at bird drones, there's super high tech spy cams that are control that can be remote controlled and shit. That like the government has. I mean, I think they were created in China, but they have them here also in the U.S. obviously. But yeah, it's in. I don't know why they put science fiction in the description of Truman Show. It's like it is like a dramedy or whatever or something. I don't know. A special. I related to that movie like something like fucking Big Time, like something Big Time. I remember having that moment. Like I remember not specific. Well, I remember around what time it was, and I know like the month and year of when I had that moment of like realization, like holy shit, holy shit. It was like years ago. It was like years ago. Well, I don't know what they say. Most people is not even a lot of people say, those of us that are actually TIs, targeted individuals, we're super spread out from each other, you know what I mean? And it's done like that by design, you know what I mean? So that we'll never meet each other, or if you do meet each other, one of them will get co-opted and turned into the thing, like join the thing or whatever. The past year, man, I did something I should have never, and I want to tell you this. See, people give horrible advice, you know what I mean? Not just women give horrible advice, but people in general give horrible advice. But just some fucked up shit that I was going through or whatever. It's not even worth talking about. But yeah, around that time I started getting shadow banned hardcore, started getting videos removed. Shadow banned was like, I noticed the traction to my channel got way slowed way down to where it would take forever for a video to get views. It would take forever to get new subs. It would take forever to get likes. Sometimes it would say, it would go up and down. You'd be like, what the fuck? Like, one day it says the video has 12 and the next day it says it has 0. Like, and just hiding your shit, making it the traffic way slower for your shit to grow or whatever. I noticed that because I could tell a difference. Like, I used to put, let's say 2021, early 2021, and before that, I would post something that would easily get 500 to 600 views overnight right away. In a month, like 1,000. In a few months, several thousand. I had several videos that had over 10,000, 15,000, 20,000, 30,000, even one that had like 60,000. Oh shit, is that? Oh no. Where is it? I don't want to yell right into the And then I started getting strikes. Oh yeah, strikes and videos removed, a day after, 2 days after. And shadow banning just really made it slow down a lot, and that just made me lose focus on it. I was like, fuck this, man. Like, they're pulling this bullshit. And it coincided with right around the time I started getting on the whole space is fake conspiracy or whatever. Not that it's fake, but that it's like, it's not what they tell us, and they haven't done they haven't been able to do what they tell us they've done. I mean, it exists. There's something there, but it's not what they tell us. It's not something, they cannot travel like outside of Earth's atmosphere. Even mainstream science and like Neil deGrasse Tyson recently admitted it, and this other mainstream science channel, they admitted it recently that no human being has ever left Earth's atmosphere. And they call that soft disclosure. They kind of have to, like, in their Molochian satanic cult or whatever, and their Molochian religion. They have to tell you. They just throw it in subtly and move on. They don't like make a huge stink about it and put it all over the news and shit. They just subtly tell you somewhere, like in an interview or something, and move on. But they're like, yeah, no human, a mainstream science channel. And the lady was quoting NASA. She was quoting direct quotes from NASA. NASA says no human being has ever left the Earth's atmosphere. Oh, shit. So, yeah. Hello, can you hear me? Can you hear me? You must be. So, yeah. And sadly, I got into doing this thing, like going live, right when my shit was already heavily shadow banned. So, like around spring or summer 2021, I noticed it. Like, you can notice it obviously, like, shit going way slower, like, you know what I mean? No matter how good or funny the rant was, it would fucking, like, take months to get, like, 100 or 200 views and shit like that. I'm like, oh, man, what the fuck is this bullshit? What's going on? I'm deep into this thing where, like, pop culture is manufactured or whatever. Like, what's it called? It's not. Nothing is legit or organic. Nothing is legit. Oh yeah, nothing is legit. Remember, I want you to always remember that nothing in this world is legit. You have to be connected. You have to be a Freemason, connected. You have to be in the Masons, Masones, Freemasons. You have to be connected, like, all enchiladas, Satanic pedophiles and Freemasons run everything. And if you're not connected, you're not going to get pushed or promoted. Like, that's just how it is. But somebody back behind me or no? Oh, shit. Yeah. Pop culture is super fragmented now. That, like, you don't even know what other people are into and shit. You know what I mean? Like, everything's so broken up. It's hard to. It's rare that you meet someone that's into even the same, like, I don't know, something. You know what I mean? Into the same thing or whatever. It's hard to meet someone like that. Or you see, like, young people, they're all into old ass music. Like me, I'm into old ass music. It's hard for me to even like any new songs, new movies. For the last new movie that I liked was this documentary called Level with Me. It was really good. And the first one, Level, the Flat Earth film, and Level with Me that just came out, fucking highly recommended. They're super good. Fucking super interesting. We got some hating ass piece of shit in the chat. Let's see. He's an idiot. Oh, listen. Put him in timeout. He's been put on timeout. Actually, I'm kind of against that. I don't know what I just did. I should have done that. I'm against censoring or banning people or canceling. I'm against canceling and censoring and banning, and just because you don't like someone, just because someone says something you don't like or you just don't like them, you want to make up some bullshit to try to get them canceled or banned from somewhere or something, or censored, anything. So I really shouldn't have done that, but I don't know. I just wanted to see if I could. If I could. I didn't ban him, but it said right there, put him in timeout. And I was like, oh, that's funny. That's funny. Put him in timeout. Put him in. Any questions? There's one person. Wait, there's two. See, the problem is I started doing this live thing real late. I should have started in 2020. Around, I don't know, I guess it was early 2021. There's two things I started really going after, which is the whole space is fake conspiracy, and the other thing, like scam, global scams or whatever. And that's when my shit got shadow banned hardcore. Where shit, I used to have videos that had, like, you guys remember, I had like videos that had over 10,000, 15,000, 20,000, 30,000. I even had one that had 60,000 accumulated. I had over 500,000 views. But they started removing videos. I started getting strikes, and then they were like, on the next strike, you're out or whatever. I was like, oh man, come on. But now they let the savages back in, hopefully, I think. I don't know. They let the savages. So at some point I thought I was being invited into the Freemasons. But they made the shit so vague that I was like, they made the shit so vague, like what I was supposed to do or whatever, that I was like, this shit is too vague that even a smart, deep thinker like me that thinks on a higher spiritual level is like, what the fuck? I don't know what the fuck's going on, so I'm just gonna do whatever the fuck I want to do. Actually, I shouldn't have done that. Let me take him out. Let me take him out. As a moderator, move. I don't know if he's been put on timeout. Let me know. I don't know how you let someone back in. They make this shit so complicated to use and shit. Testing. Hello? Can you fucking hear me or no? What happened to your... Oh. So yeah, that's all what happened. That plus personal shit made me like lose focus on it or whatever. But mainly that, the shadow banning, the strikes, the getting videos removed, and just it. The shadow banning is really an annoying ass thing where it'll just make shit go everything way slower than it should. Like the recent rant I did. Typically before the shadow banning, that shit would have already had like 500, 600 views already. In a month, it would have already surpassed 1,000, or several. It would have had several thousand already. But anyways, fuck that guy. He's probably an agent. Probably he's in the shit. He's in the program or whatever. In the program. I think at some point I met someone who possibly was one also, like a TI. Because I asked him one time, do you ever feel like this and that is happening to you? And he was like, actually, yeah. and he was almost as deep into the whole thing, into the conspiracy thing, almost as deep into it as me. I was just always been super deep. I was way deeper into it than him, but. And I was like, how are they letting us communicate like this, like talk about this shit, and even openly in public and shit, talking about it and just laughing about it. And then I was like, how come they're letting us do this? They're letting us talk like this in public. They're letting us communicate, share info. And I was like, how come he hasn't been turned against me like everybody else? And sure enough, it happened one day. Like, it was like he was reprogrammed. It was like he was reprogrammed, and the next, like from one day to the next, he was a completely different person. Suddenly, you know what I mean? He just like flipped on me, like not flipped out, but switched or whatever, like it turned against or whatever. And I was like, shit, where's this? And I was like, where's this coming from? Like, who told you to say this? And he was like, no, just random, like he didn't want to say where it was coming from or whatever. But yeah, nothing is legit in this world.
Come up to your job, hit your...
Nothing is legit in this world. That guy's probably a Freemason, and if a man randomly changes, there's a woman behind it. It could be. It could have been, possibly, because I was like, well, who thinks like this? Who, inappropriate, to quote the great late Patrice O'Neill, inappropriate is such a vaginal term. It's not a thing in our gut, in our heart. It's not a thing that guys really feel and think. We never think or feel that anything is inappropriate. We never think or feel that anything is off limits to talk about. You know, I used to joke about that's why I liked him as a friend, because I was like, man, I know I can joke about whatever the fuck I want, and he's just gonna laugh, like, oh, he's just gonna think it's some funny shit and laugh out of nowhere. He's like, oh, don't talk about shit like this openly. Don't make fucked up jokes like this. He was like, don't make fucked up jokes. Don't talk about this and that. He's like, oh, you gotta be more, you know, PC, basically, in layman's terms, and shit like that. Started accusing me of like several different things that I don't like. I didn't like that. I was like, shit, where's this coming from? Like I knew that was psychically, I predicted that was coming at some point. Psychically, I knew that was coming at some point. Like, I was like, how are they letting us talk like this, even in public, talk like this and laugh? One day out of nowhere, it was just a complete switch, a complete 180. So who knows? And I thought about that. I even asked, that was when my mind was still way sharper and faster. I was like, who told you to say this? Like in the middle of it, in the middle of this fucking intervention or whatever. I was like, who told you to say this or what? Like, where's this coming from? And he didn't want to say like specifically or whatever. But I was like, I'm assuming like someone got to him and told him like, hey, don't pal around so much with him. Don't play around with him so much. Don't laugh at everything he says and encourage it and shit like that. But I think even after that, I still asked him one day, like, do you ever feel like this and that is happening? Like, people bring up really specific, private things to you about you that only you would know? And he's like, yeah. It's almost like my every move is being watched and shit like that closely. And I was like, is that legit? Is he saying that because he knows that's what I'm into? He's trying to like win my trust back and just go along with it, like he knows what I'm talking about? Or he's in the shit and that's like a way to not get discovered or whatever. He might have been co-opted and put in the program or whatever. And then he was like, soon after rewarded for going against, the targeted individual, which was me. Yeah, If a man randomly changes, there's a woman behind it. I mean, that's what happened to iDubbbz. His girlfriend ruined him. Who's iDubbbz? I don't know who that is. Motherfucker, dude. Motherfucker. Well, I was thinking that, like, a big controversial YouTuber, iDubbbz. Never heard of him. But yeah. Anyone ever had that happen? Like a friend just turn against you out of nowhere, or a family member just turn against you out of nowhere, and be like, before everything you did was fine. Like they thought it was funny, they didn't give a shit. Like, you know what I mean? And then I was like, oh, he was probably rewarded heavily for going against and shit like that. Any questions? No? See, if I would have started this in 2020, I easily would have had probably. I don't know what happened. Like, I guess going against whatever, the whole space thing, and the scam thing. That's when I noticed it. When I really started going heavy on the scam thing and on the space fake thing. Oh, motherfucker. And I guess he decided to go with evil instead of going with good. Instead of going along with good, he just decided to go along with evil, I guess, whatever. But who knows? I don't know if I would have done the same thing. I don't know. If somebody would have came, can you still hear me? Can you still hear me? I said, heal me. Can you still hear me? This shit is going hack-tarded. This piece of shit is going hack-tarded. So hacked. I'm so targeted. Oh, where's the no. What the hell is it doing? Yeah, you have to be connected for everything. And if you are connected, or you decide to be co-opted into it and go against the true ones, you will be rewarded, I think. I don't know if I could have done it though.
Go with evil is your fault.
Maybe if they would have told me, like, oh, you have to go against someone, and then I'm like, why? Like, they're like I know them. They're like a good person. They don't harm anyone. They don't violate anyone's rights. You know. And they'd be like, well, you'll be highly rewarded and connected to shit. You will plug you into shit. I might have. Who knows? I might have been like, fine, yeah, I guess. I'll just be like, I don't have to do any fucked up shit, right? And I'm like, no. And they're like, okay. Anyways, can you guys still hear me? Can you still fucking hear me? I'm gonna wrap this shit up because this shit is such a hacked ass piece of shit. I'm so targeted and shadow banned, and shadow banning is part of that also. You know, people that talk about certain things get targeted and shit. But